Mark and Angela were desperate to sell their house. They'd already reduced the asking price twice. Their estate agent couldn't understand why it wasn't selling. Neither could they. The frustrating part was, they had already found their dream home. It was exactly where they wanted to live, exactly the right price. Angela smiled and said, "We're so close. I can almost taste it." That sentence immediately caught my attention, because they weren't just thinking about the new house anymore. They were already feeling it. The new reality had become emotionally real, but something wasn't moving. They were considering changing estate agents, dropping the price again, even taking out a loan to cover the difference. So I became curious. Was the problem really the house, or was something else resisting the move? I asked what feedback they'd received from potential buyers. Had anyone criticized the house, the location, the layout, the price? They both shook their heads. The estate agent had no explanation either. Several viewers had loved the house. 3 had seriously considered making offers. Everything looked promising. Nothing was happening. So let's look behind the scenes. The way I currently understand the game is this. When a new chapter is genuinely ready, life usually isn't asking us to force it into existence. It's asking us to become available for it. Something about their current reality was still holding their attention more strongly than the new one. So I asked them to describe their existing home, not what they wanted, but how it actually felt to live there. Angela answered immediately. "It just feels too small. Not only that, but everything I'm trying to do, I'm bumping up against some irritation. But I do love this house. I've spent years making it feel cozy. Our friends always tell us how lovely it feels." As I listened, 2 themes kept repeating. It doesn't feel big enough, and moving around feels awkward. Everything else came back to those 2 feelings. So I asked, "And your new house solves both of those?" They laughed. "Oh yes, completely." That was the clue. The new house wasn't simply offering more space, it was offering a different feeling. So I suggested something unexpected. Instead of waiting for the new house to make them feel spacious, create that feeling now. Because when your nervous system is already living in the experience, physical reality often finds it much easier to catch up. After looking at the layout, it became obvious that they didn't actually need a bigger room. They needed the experience of a bigger room. So I suggested moving a few furniture items, removing things they no longer needed, painting one wall a darker color to create depth, adding a large mirror. Simple changes, designed to change one feeling, the feeling of space. Then we looked at the daily frustrations. Angela laughed as she described one of them. She liked keeping the sitting room door pinned open, but it blocked the cupboard she needed several times a day. I simply asked, "Could those things live in another cupboard?" She stopped, laughed, and said, "I've never even thought of that." One small adjustment, and one daily irritation disappeared. Then I gave them one more suggestion. I knew this would be quite an easy sell because they'd be moving soon. They'd be spending energy on it anyway. I asked them to clear the house, clear out the past, clear out anything that they hadn't used in the last year, or knew they didn't need. Clearing the things that they didn't dare let go of from the last 3 clear-outs. Not just the visible rooms, the cupboards, the loft, the basement. Because we often think we've put the past away, simply because it's out of sight. But hidden spaces are still part of the house, just as hidden emotions are still part of us. Within 8 days, they'd finished everything. The house felt lighter, more spacious. Moving through it felt easier now the irritations had gone. They'd stopped talking about what the new house would feel like, because they were already feeling it. Then something remarkable happened. While Mark was driving to the recycling centre with the empty paint tins, his phone rang. The estate agent. A full price offer. He couldn't believe it. His first response was, "But nobody has even seen the changes yet." I smiled, because from my perspective, they already had. Not through the eyes of potential buyers, but through the shift that had taken place inside Mark and Angela. With their energy as it was, they were only getting potential buyers for the house. What they really wanted was current buyers. That meant they had to become a current buyer too. They had to feel the enjoyment of living there enough to want to stay. If the new house felt spacious, then the state they were currently living in had to feel spacious too. The way I currently understand the outer mirror is this. The buyers weren't simply buying a house. They were reflecting the couple's new relationship with the experience of home. They had stopped waiting for life to give them spaciousness. They were creating the feeling of spaciousness now. Here's the takeaway. Whenever you're trying to move into a new chapter, Whether it's a new home, a relationship, a business, or a healthier body, ask yourself one simple question. Am I waiting for the new reality to give me the feeling, or can I begin living that feeling today? Because very often, the doorway doesn't open after life changes. It opens after you change. In my experience, our homes and workplaces are some of the greatest mirrors we have. They're tangible, they're practical, they reveal exactly where resistance is hiding. Sometimes the biggest breakthrough doesn't require years of inner work. Sometimes it starts by moving a cupboard, painting a wall, clearing a room, or finally letting go of something you've been carrying for far too long. The outer change isn't creating the inner shift. It's helping you embody the person who was already primed and ready for the next chapter.